All right, staying on track. I took a little break, but we were here. Uh, I'm the woman known by the name of. I already said the name, her name. I don't want to mention it, but I already mentioned it. But this is what it says: I am the woman known by the name of. I do affirm under penalty of perjury, because we're addressing the jurisdiction of the sea or admiralty. We use the penalty of perjury, even though as living people and lawful persons, we just only need to give good faith affirmations. Okay. Do affirm under penalty of perjury that I have known the man whose likeness appears on the opposite side of this sheet of paper since the year 2009. So she's known me for 11 years. This man has a family that she has met. Okay, I'll read it as she. His father's family name is Raymond. His mother's family name is Fitzpatrick. This man was given the names Kevin and Christopher as gifts unique to him and was known to me as Kevin Raymond, Kevin Christopher Raymond. Those are my names. They're copyrighted, but I'm using them here to establish the record. If you want to address me in the future, please call me Forrest Walker. That's what the trees name. They revealed to me who I was. And my community that I lived with in the mountains, a community of people, I went through a ceremony and was named by that community Forrest Walker. And it's who I am. It's my trade name. It's my public persona name. And I love it. And I hope you do too. Please don't use my birthright gift names. They've been abused. And anyways. I know that he was born on September 3rd, 1976 on King County, on Seattle, on Washington State. There's never been any known dispute to any of these facts. I was also a witness to this man's use of a variety of trade names such as Forrest Walker, Forrest Dragon Walker, Paws Real ID, Positively Stardust. I am also a witness to a deprivation of this man's sovereign human rights by Marion County Jail, Marion County District Court, Oregon State Hospital, and the Oregon State Police, namely Judge Kate Burton, Oregon State Trooper Guy Nelson, and Public Defender Albino Vela. She was there for many of the court cases. She visited me at Marion County Jail. She visited me at Oregon State Hospital multiple times. She encountered her own forms of abuse, even though she was just a civilian visiting me. So then I got the birth certificates. Yep, and I want to go ahead and made a seal for myself right out of my own blood, you guys, because a corporation cannot bleed, and this is kind of the old way, This is how you actually originally did it. Unless you had red ink back in the day, Okay, so we're getting right into it now. I am going to go ahead and record my Declaration of Naturalization Act of July 1779, and being the strict necessity, I've already gone ahead and just got witness signatures that people have seen that I've written this. I've signed it. So it's not the one that I'm going to officially do before the notary or before the state recording secretary in the assembly, and then it'll fully be finally officially done. And but this is me actually moving heaven and earth, throwing mountains into the oceans by faith, and by the operation of law. It's just not fair to have to make people jump through all these hoops, especially after they've already jumped through thousands and thousands and thousands of hoops while they were being deceived. And then they find out the truth, and they're exhausted and utterly depleted of their internal revenues. And then you're going to try to put some lame-ass dollar price on some stamp. I mean, not that the stamp's lame, especially the one coming from the assembly, because that is the people, so that has real authority. I mean, it's beautiful. When the people record you, when we record it with the people, it's like coming home in the spirit realm, too. I mean, it's very spiritual. That we've been denied a whole spiritual relationship with the land that's a natural relationship. First of all, because if you're not from here, my blood's been on the land for 400 years almost, 10 years shy. So, there's some things I'm starting to pick up on, but that's still pretty brand new, to the land spirits. So there's a natural earth-based kind of spiritual way that kind of goes with every land. Every land has its own kind of expression, and people should be free to travel here and there to find where they belong. Everyone, I mean, it's just the Earth is a global village. You know, we are. That's the new way. Is the global village way, and there will be some few cities for commerce because we'll still continue to have trade and all that. Um, but no, mostly we're going to be back in villages because that is a healthier way. These cities are just too complex, and yeah. Anyways, I mean, these are ideas. Like, I'm not saying that's what it is, but these are ideas to feed to the people so that the people are like thinking about these things like this, so that they're like, oh yeah, we are the people, and the people are the government, and the people make up the state by agreement. When we come together and we agree on something as a compact, or a covenant, you know, and found during the time of the colonies and the founding fathers, they created all these things by compact. So in the beginning, it was a compact of the people. And then there became complexities. So they created more complex things to deal with the complexities. But none of it was ever meant to strip the people of their power or their sovereignty. It was just so that we could engage with foreign entities that are operating under different jurisdictions. Different, you know. So that's just down the road. I'm just going to let that be for what that is right now. I'm going to go ahead and go through reading my Declaration of Naturalization, Act of July 1779, when they also kind of had a similar problem where there was a bunch of people here and we had just kicked the Brits off the land. And then it was like, okay, so who are we? And like some people were Germans, some people were Swedes, some people were slaves, some people were indentured servants, some people were Africans who were free. Right from, you know, there's a much more rich and diverse history than we've been led to believe. Very oversimplified. Okay, Declaration of Naturalization. The stone the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. I declare that I am the owner and operator of my vessels on earth from the moment my zygote first formed, together with all DNA and all substance matter in any way associated with me and my incarnation, and I further declare that I accept my divine origin and all honor, right, title, and material interests I am owed. I declare my political status as an American state national born within the physical borders of Washington. I declare under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that I reject, renounce, and remove all powers of attorney granted by me or issued under my name prior to this day. I did this in the courtroom in Marion County as well, many times, and they just kept trying to latch him back onto me and let him talk for me. They just pretty much ignored me as best they could. And just real quick here, I'm using the penalty of perjury language for this document because the presumption has been up until this point within the records that I am a U.S. citizen and that I'm totally acceptable with that and receiving the benefits of such, and therefore living under all these false jurisdictions. So that's why I'm using under the penalty of perjury so that it can address their jurisdiction. You know, that means if you can catch me lying in this, then you got me. But this is all true. So I'm putting it on the record. I have no desire to put lies on the record. And, you know, this took a lot of courage to do this, so I'm not going to come in here and lie about this stuff. I believe all this stuff from the very depths of my heart. Okay, another thing is under the public law of the United States of America, that "the" is a capital T, the United States of America, the original holding company that was created out of a compact of the people. And then it says, and from without the United States. And that is a small t, the United States, because that is a corporation that's masquerading as that original government of the people. And it was originally set up to do what it was to do that. And you know, at this point though, it is masquerading as our legitimate government, and it's not. And without the United States of America territories, that's the British side of our government. That's also not of the people. It's a private subcontractor, a federal subcontractor. In the beginning, we contracted with Brit and with the Vatican for services. And they had 19 enumerated services. I believe that's right, 19. I could be wrong on that, though, and my disclaimer applies, because that's not what I'm really addressing right now. It's just coming up. I declare under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that I reject, renounce, and remove all and any allegiance to any king or prince, any foreign state, any foreign government, flag, or thing. Now, I love the Cascadia flag. I often fly it, but it's not to be in competition in any way. I see Cascadia as a cultural phenomenon, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. I declare under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that I have never knowingly, willingly, and voluntarily pledged myself to any incorporated entity at all, including but not limited to any incorporated church, synagogue, mosque, or temple. Now, I was a member of a Southern Baptist church in my 20s and a Foursquare church. And so I'm clearing that up right now. I never was meaning to be latched in any sense to any corporation, but I now remember back that they were corporations, and the churches do run under corporate charters. So they're probably sometimes part of the fraud. But, that's just it's neither here nor there. I declare under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that I have never knowingly, willingly, or voluntarily pledged myself to any foreign sovereign or separated myself from my birthright political status. I didn't choose to do that. I would have never made that choice. Never was that appetizing to me to be part of this U.S. empire. The empire. I declare, publish, and affirm under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that my house is established in Mason County and my home is established on Washington, and no other presumption or impersonation is allowed on Mason County and on Washington. I'm not in their corporate world. I'm on. I declare under the aforementioned penalties that I am a lawful inheritor, landlord, keeper, and guardian of the rightful and lawful government of this country, acting with full right, authority, responsibility, and honor, now and always, while my tenure on earth shall last. And I present this declaration of the Naturalization Act of 1779 and place it upon the public record. And it will be at the Washington Assembly. All right. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and do my cancellation of all prior powers of attorney, the specific one. All prior powers, and if anyone comes and says there's some order I was supposed to follow, I reject that. I reject that and I refute that. And I say, honor your sacred oath. All prior powers of attorney granted by Kevin Christopher Fitzpatrick and Kevin Christopher Raymond are removed, canceled, and permanently revoked effective September 3rd, 1976. Kevin Christopher Raymond is attorney in fact for all purposes related to the administration of his estates, and all correspondence should be addressed to him. Practicing the law is a common law right. Yep, there's countless case law. We'll get into that later. We'll just keep going with this. I got plenty. But yeah, it's a common law right. So I am the attorney. In fact, I speak from my own behalf. I've learned the law. Okay, I can fit one more in here. Declaration of political status. I, the living man, Kevin Christopher Raymond, nee Fitzpatrick, affirm and declare that I have returned to my lawful birthright political status as a Washingtonian, and I claim my exemptions as stated in Federal Code 8 U.S.C. 1101 A21. This I declare and affirm under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America. All right, we're running out of time. Again, it's the 12 angles of the zodiac, people. All disclaimers. Do not take any one of these videos in and of itself. Watch all of them.